And we are live. Welcome, family, to another show. Man, we got a very good one today. I'm going to do a response video to the definite guide to running game in Colombia. It's going to be a very interesting video. Fresh and Fit uh, did a show, I believe it was last night, did a show last night talking about Colombia. They brought a guy in that was, a Colombian veteran or whatnot, and they spoke on Colombia, and I want to just give a response to that. But real quick, I want to give a shout out to everybody in the chat who's in here early. I know it's super early on the East Coast, like about 9:45. Shout out to Kirby P. Films in the building. He says, good morning, BMT. We got Terry Williams in the building. Says they only talk about game dating 304s. Overseas men get natural submission without attitude. That's what's up. We got Global Paper in the building with the Brazil or Die, where I'm currently at. Shout out to Virgil for Forever Lift with the clown emojis. I guess he's talking about Fresh and Fit. So yeah, man, we're definitely going to get into it. But I want to make an announcement real quick, guys. We got 38 in the room. We got 44 in the room. Hit that like button for your boy. I want to make an announcement. Today, we are starting the official crowdfunding campaign for the BMT mobile app. I am super excited about this, man. I haven't did a show in about 2 days because I've been trying to get everything together with the crowdfunding campaign and make sure we had everything together as far as the logistics of the app, the legalities of the app. So this evening at 5 p.m. Eastern, I'm going to bring on a veteran software engineer who has 20 years of experience in the tech field. He's going to be developing the BMT mobile app, and we're going to launch the campaign live on the show. All right, so I'm super excited. I'm gonna play a quick snippet of the trailer. I'm gonna play the whole trailer for you guys to check out real quick. So check this trailer out, guys, for the mobile app. Stop them by the page. If you hold on. Now, what I'm about to play is the what's on the actual Indiegogo crowdfunding page, like a welcome video. So I'm gonna go ahead and play it right now for the family. What's going on, family? I appreciate you stopping by the page. If you are here, you are considering donating to the Black Men Travels, the BMT social networking app, the private social networking app, I shall add. That would be very beneficial to all of us, all right? Many times we don't have a lot of independence on some of these social networks. Well, for travelers, this is the social network for you, okay? Just imagine being in a foreign country, hitting the geotab button, and to be able to see other BMT members in your vicinity. That's going to change the outlook of your vacation, seeing how you can meet other group members. Also, you have private messaging alongside the app as well. You will be able to communicate without any outside interference. All right, guys, you can post pretty much what you want to post. And that's a big benefit as well. This app right here is a fully independent app. Okay, guys, it's probably going to be the only fully independent app on your phone. So it's going to be a lot of benefits that come along down the line as we continue to develop the app. Right now, this is the crowdfunding for the first phase. So you're basically going to be paying upfront to use the app. There is a paywall to keep some of the riffraff out, but it's going to be very beneficial to all of us. And it's going to be a lot of benefits for traveling. I'm telling you, it's going to be a lot of benefits. You're going to have all types of private deals amongst the app, all right? So, guys, make sure you donate to the app. This is our own independent platform. Let's do this for us. Let's do this for the culture. Let's do it for empowerment.
Important, man. We are our own culture. We understand us. And it's important that we have something that we own. Yeah. You know what it is? It's your man, Will Fidel, man. Hey, listen, it's important, fellas, that we make these moves, we make this happen, and we cannot do it without you. We need your support. Countless companies have people come together and help them support and build something that they feel is beneficial to everybody. This is beneficial to you. Just like we said, the geotagging. How dope is it to know you can, in any country, go and turn on the geotag and see which one of your brothers are around in that country? That alone lets you never feel alone when you go somewhere. You got people there that connect. You guys got something in common. Secondly, we're going to have places where you can go get discounts just because you are a member of this app. You can go in there, show the app, show you active, and receive discounts. So it's going to save you money. Thirdly, when we're in these different countries, unfortunately, like I said, this past week we've seen brothers that have died overseas. It can happen, and it's been tough because they cannot find an next of kin to this guy because he's not really connected to anything. So in this app with our members, we're all connected. We'll have emergency contacts, all that information you can have up in your profile. So in the event something happens to you, you got brothers there that can help you and they can reach out to your family, man. So these type of things are beneficial. Also, laws in other countries are different. Members of this app will have access to legal counsel. We'll make sure we got lawyers on retainer that can help you in the event you get into some legal troubles. Now, if you go out there, you're trying to move bricks and stuff, trying to go out there and be Pablo, we can't help you much with that. But if you have some issues, we could jump in and put our legal counsel on top of things, man. This is going to connect you to that country where you can travel somewhere comfortably and know that I got people here, I got attorneys here, I got businesses here, I got discounts, I got connections automatically just by being united with this BMT. But we need your help. Apps do cost a lot of money, and we want to build this. This is something we can all build on and unite together. We got to come together at home, man.
Most definitely, most definitely. All right, guys. So I'm super excited about this app. It's going to be a game changer. It's going to be very beneficial. We're going to do the crowdfunding campaign. We're raising $25,000, guys. $25,000 for the mobile app. We're going to give you a detailed explanation of where all the money is going to go and all that good stuff. During the live stream we have at 5 p.m. Eastern, we're going to bring the software engineer on, and we're going to talk about all the questions. I'm going to give you. He's going to answer some questions, and I'm going to give you guys, a Q&A as well, as far as with all the benefits and all the features of that mobile app. All right. So we definitely going to do that. Get excited. We should have the app done and in the bag within the next 3 months, man. So get excited for the mobile app. We're going to launch it live today at 5 p.m. Eastern. So make sure you guys tune in. All right. Now, also, the Black Men Travels 2.0 Facebook page. All right. We are still having, hold on, let me give me 1 second. Let me close that out. We are still having a few difficulties with the BMT page, guys, so that we haven't been able to approve posts. So we're asking the family to go ahead and join the Passport Bros Facebook page, private Facebook group for the time being until we get everything situated with the technicals of the Black Man Travels 2.0 Facebook group. So don't get offended if your posts haven't been put up yet. We don't have access to approve posts right now. And this is one of the issues we're talking about as far as, the importance of a mobile app, man, the importance of being able to communicate alongside each other without any outside interference, if you guys catch my drift. Now, let's get back to the subject at hand. I got a good friend of mine who's been living in Colombia for, I think, almost a year. We're going to go through a little bit of the Fresh and Fit video. Now, I will say this before we start. The guest they had on was very knowledgeable about Colombia. Let me go ahead and pull this up.
And
hold on. All right, Dre, you there?
Yes, sir.
What's going on, Follies for Dre? What's going on, bro? We got 103 in the room. Hit that like button. How's everything going with you, bro?
Hey, everything is great down here. How's everything in Brazil?
Oh man, everything is lovely. And you know what? I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm glad they didn't do a video on Brazil yet. I'm like, okay, keep Brazil on the low. Keep Brazil on the low. Yeah, y'all don't come to Brazil. I mean, the family, I want y'all to come to Brazil.
Okay.
But the other guys, the Fresh and Fit crowd, yeah, y'all stay over there. Miami, Colombia, all day. But man, you watched some of the video. What did you think when you saw the definite gain to Colombia? What was your first thinking of the title?
Well, I expected a little more than what I got, but at the same time, most of the information was pretty spot on. Some slight exaggerations. Most experiences for guys coming down here, if you're only going to be here for a couple of days, maybe a week, you don't speak very much Spanish, you need to kind of leave the regular girls alone. I mean, they're just not gonna be into you like that. You're a tourist, and that I think that was slightly misleading. The way the guy presented himself, because the way he speaks, he seems like he's moving down here like Rico Suave.
Yeah, man.
Which it is possible, but
it's definitely possible. But he's a PUA coach. He's still selling game, even in Colombia, which is we all know that's what you don't need at all. You need to you need to learn Spanish, basically.
Right.
You just gotta learn Spanish.
That's your ticket. That's your ticket. The fact that you showed up here and you're a foreigner, you have access to foreign currency, and if you can speak Spanish, that's at the top of the list. Top of the list. That's almost more important than your money.
Now, give us a look quick about your background, how long you've been in Colombia, and what you think about Colombia so far as you've been out here.
I've been in Colombia now almost a year. I'm down here on a retirement visa, so I've integrated into the society. I have Colombian ID, bank accounts. I love the country, been all over the country. I prefer Medellin, the weather, the views. I love it down here. I think I spent maybe 5 to 6 weeks in the States all of last year.
And tell us some of the benefits of having a Colombian ID.
Well, that does help you for, let's say, if you want to get a cell phone plan. It's actually kind of a hassle to even get a prepaid SIM card to put into your phone to use data down here if you don't have a cedular, which is the ID card. Renting, you can rent direct. I mean, you basically become more a part of society than what we experience with the people from Mexico in the States. I mean, that's kind of how when you come down here, if you're going to stay for a while, but you're not able to kind of integrate into society, you don't have that cedula, you don't have any Colombian bank accounts because some of the applications are paying online. The way it's set up is they'll ask you for your cedula number and your card number. If some apps, I can't even use my American card in. So it helps. It helps being able to blend into society and not be like a Mexican running around down here like an illegal. You can't get nothing, or you got to pay extra for everything.
Yeah, and how long was the process for you to get the ID? How long did it take you?
So I did everything myself. I applied for the retirement visa, sent my paperwork and stuff in. I had one hiccup with the State Department. They did not send over the correct form to verify my government income. So that caused an issue. But once I submitted it and it was correct, it took 3 days for the approval for the visa. You jump online, register for your cedula or the ID card. Then after that, you go in person. That's its own experience. Then you take your picture, fingerprints, come back maybe 3 to 5 days later to pick up the cedula. So in total, I think maybe it probably took me a week and a half once everything got rolling correctly.
Okay, we back. Sorry about that, fellas. I got this Brazilian Wi-Fi going on. So, in response to the Fresh and Fit video, I want to say the guest was named Casey Redbeard. He did.
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay. So basically, and I know I got a lot of Colombian vets here now. Guys, dating in America is tough. Why don't you come down to Colombia? And Fresh's response was, "Oh, it's just a country full of prostitutes, basically." Like, you know what I'm saying? That was his initial response. Now, all of a sudden, he brings a guy on, which is his roommate. So he always knew about Colombia, but they had to try to figure out a way to monetize some form of a course before they presented Colombia to their audience, basically. And I'm not knocking their hustle, but I've been telling guys this for a very long time. You do not need any form of PUA game in Colombia. All right. Take the game courses and get Spanish classes instead. All day, every day, bro. That's going to go so much further. Now, in the video, like I said, his truth is pretty much non-debatable. You know, you definitely got to move a certain way. You definitely want to move within the social circle. Like me and Dre do. We kind of hang out, same, you know, our boy DJs, Jay. You know, we kind of hang out in the social circle, which means it's much safer. But he mentioned how to meet women, right? And he mentioned Tinder. Now, the thing they're not saying, because they're game coaches, is the other part, the safety part, the safety issues when it comes to dating women on Tinder and things of that nature. Dre, what are some things you've seen or have heard of people going on dates and possibly getting drugged by some of the women on Tinder?
Man. Personally, I would stay away from Tinder. I do have, guys within our circle, or we have guys within our circle that, they'll dabble with Tinder here and there. If you're coming down here, you don't know how to move, you don't know what's going on, you don't speak the language well, you really should probably stay away from the Tinder. I mean, you're meeting this person online, you don't even know if those photos are real.
Sometimes they're not. Sometimes, or they're very old. They're very old photos.
Yeah. Or somebody completely different is going to show up. So you if you don't know how to navigate that, you don't speak Spanish well, you're going to have a bad night. Possibly, it's a strong possibility you're going to have a bad night.
Yeah, man. He just neglected the part on the safety, which is going to get a lot of guys messed up in their audience base, because believe it or not, I mean, that's a big show. That's a big platform. Shout out to Fresh and Fit. I know a lot of cats got issues with them, but I do like their professionalism. I think YouTube was waiting on that black space of YouTube, and they have more of a commercial side. They have, a youthful audience basically, but to not talk about the safety portion, to kind of glance over the safety portion, is a tremendous problem. Okay, because you have to move in Colombia a certain way. Dog, the last story I heard that was posted in the Facebook group, from another group, they have a special group called scopolamine victims. What is it? Medellin scopolamine victims or something like that?
Something like that. Yeah, something like that.
Medellin scopolamine victims. So you got two Americans, two guys, right? They go out, they meet some girls off Tinder or whatnot, or one of the girls bring a friend off Tinder. They go out, they have drinks, they have a good time, they get back to their spot. The girls fix them drinks. The next thing they do, they wake up, all their stuff is gone. So to kind of glance over that portion of it is a huge problem in my opinion.
Yeah, mine as well. With my background and experience, I'm pretty big on safety and security. But the way some of these guys move down here, I mean, there's a reason that kind of stuff happens all the time. And unfortunately, a lot of the guys that are watching some of these videos, the videos aren't giving them full information or a bigger perspective on things. You get down here and they start moving like they're in another state. And for long, you got guys that has come down here, and within the first hour or two, they've been drugged and robbed. And it's like, what are you doing?
Man, I remember it was some cats. I'm just gonna say they're from up north. I ain't gonna put their state out there because they watched the show. And I remember that night because I felt the energy, I felt the vibe, right? And I told them, I said, hey man, do not mess with any of these girls in the park. Don't mess with none of the girls in the park, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I get a call the next morning. Hey, bro, or matter of fact, I get a message. Man, chick stole from me. She took my cell phone. She drugged me. My boy was there too. I'm just sitting here like, I told you, bro. I warned you not to mess with these little skeezers out there in the park because they were too.
You don't know what you're doing in that park.
Yeah,
man.
they were too. And that's another thing they failed to mention in that video. Do not wear jewelry. We talked about this time and time again. And that night, them guys from up north, they were just too flashy with it. You know what I'm saying? Like just too, and they didn't really have too much jewelry on. But I was just like, yeah, y'all brothers need to just chill out.
Yeah, you know, we would see that pretty much every night, for sure, every weekend. Guys come down, you know, the way you're dressed. I mean, well, in park areas, they're gonna know you're a gringo anyway. But you don't have to go the extra mile, and you don't need to be fresh down here. You really don't.
You can rock out with a Colombian soccer jersey and be perfectly fine.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I probably own the most Colombian jerseys that exist. I got polos, I got all kind of colors, and just throw that stuff on and just go out.
Exactly. Because it's all about your Spanish game, really.
Yeah,
I must
if
you know.
If you can't communicate, if you got to pull the phone out and utilize Google Translate, you know, you type in or you trying to speak a conversation into Google Translate and let her speak into that just doesn't work. It works with the pros, but regular people, they don't look at you sideways because, for one, they're not used to people sticking a phone in their face to be able to communicate. They're just used to talking. Just it'll be the same as you in the States, and every time you need to talk to a female, she got to jump on her phone to translate to you. You're not gonna like that.
Exactly, man. Exactly. I'm gonna be honest with you, man. I lost out on some beautiful women because I didn't speak enough Spanish, man. You know, I mean, even if you at like the level that me and you at now, you know, even if you at our level, which is well, I'm gonna say I'm about 50-60%. I can communicate. You know, I can have somewhat of a small conversation if they don't speak too fast. You know, I can respond. And you know, we spoke in Spanish with each other before. If you just don't have that, it can be difficult. You know, now you do have a sector of women. That's nothing. They didn't talk about the different types of women in Colombia that just like to date Americans. Period. Especially in Poblado. You know, we call them gringo hunters. Like you definitely have.
They're gonna go for anything.
Yeah, you're gonna see them with different Americans month to month to month. You know. They were another American guy, right?
They just waiting on somebody to lock them down. They gonna give you everything and hope you snatch them up. Yeah, and send them something back or take them them with you when you leave.
Now, don't get me wrong. Now, Tinder, you can definitely use Tinder. I don't want to like. You just got to be
usable.
You can use it, but do something like before you get too involved or spend too much time. You know, conversing with her. Just say, hey, let's meet for some ice cream 1-2 o'clock, or you know, let's meet at Santa Fe Mall or something for
Juan Valdez.
Yeah,
Starbucks
or something. That way you can do a meet and greet, and you might do this to 3-4 different women. You feel me?
Same day.
That's how you pick. Yeah, that's how you pick. Same day. That's your best option to me if you're going to use Tinder, man. Because until you meet them in person, bro, you don't know who you're talking to. And if they don't answer, if they do video call you, you know, that's kind of a good thing. But if they don't accept a video call from you, then red flag all day. And keep in mind that. Go ahead, bro.
My girl, when we first met, she video called me first. So that threw me for a loop. But she called me to, you know, confirm I was who I presented myself to be. So.
Shout out to Dimitri. He's in Colombia right now with the pesos. Shout out to you, brother. I appreciate that. 200 mil. He says, I was in Bogota for 3 weeks. Tinder worked very well in Bogota. I'm in Medellin, so it's a different story. So I can agree with bro about using Tinder in Medellin if this is your first time. But even for the first time Medellin, Tinder was great for me. So shout out to Dimitri. So like we said, man, Tinder can be a tool, usable, especially if you're new. Yeah, you can use it. But it is other sites like Bumble, Colombian Cupid that you might get a better. Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
I met my girl on Colombian Cupid.
There you go. There you go, man. Now let's talk about a little bit of the AfroLatinas. What's the difference you see between AfroLatinas and the mestizos or the lighter complected Colombians there?
Well, there is a definite difference. You'd see more of that in Cali, and probably most of the costeños. But I think the AfroLatinas are actually more feminine than anything, comparing it to the rest of the country, and especially if you're gonna compare it back to the U.S. The femininity is through the roof.
Yeah.
Figures, all of that. I mean, it's a completely different experience, and I mean, you'll see a lot of these Afro-Colombians down here, and you'd assume they're American. Like the one particular female that was with us that night at that party, the one in the red. I assumed that she was American. I just full blown assumed this woman was American until you told me she was Colombian. Because she even spoke English, didn't she?
She speaks perfect English.
Yeah.
Perfect.
If she would have told me she was from Idaho somewhere I for sure have never been, I would have believed she was American.
I mean, she looked like a tip, and she always, I don't know if she gets offended by when people tell her that, because I know she hears it all the time. And she's like, why does everybody say I look American? You know, I'm like, yo, you look like a chick from College Park. You know what I'm
saying? Yeah, exactly. Yeah, from the yeah. So, but
hey,
I mean,
when she walks in that room, sweet. Though, yeah, she's beautiful. Yeah, she's beautiful. She's shout out to her, man. She's in I think Italy right now, searching for love, trying to find love over there in Italy. But yeah, she's beautiful, man. She definitely changes the dynamics of the room. And a lot of people don't know, because Colombia is not known for its black population, you know. But
no, I believe it gets overlooked.
I believe, if I'm not mistaken, aren't they the most third populous country with Africans outside of Africa? Is it the third or the fourth? Because you got Brazil number one.
I know where you're at. Yeah, where you're at is definitely.
Yeah, Brazil's like number one, and you definitely, I think it's number 2 or 3 or 4, but it's up there. It's like 30% Afro in Colombia.
Yeah, it's way more than you'd imagine. Colombia was the straight, lighter complexion or European looking Latinos, but no, there's a lot of AfroLatinas down here, Afro-Latinos, and you can't tell them from Americans sometimes.
I mean, you do have a large, I would say, mulatto-looking population there as well, too. So you got a lot of mixed-looking women there. I mean, Colombia,
especially on the coast.
Colombia has a lot of flavors, man. It has a lot of flavors, and
Colombia's got everything you need.
And really, get into the crux of Colombia and Colombian culture, man. I just hope that they don't bring down that simpy, like behavior.
Right. Now, a lot of that probably won't go over as well as it does in the States. One, because it's really not needed.
Let me give a shout out to my dude, Xavier Lancaster, who was with us that night that we're talking about.
Yes, indeed he was.
Shout out to Xavier, man. He says peace and B1 family just landed in Medellin. Oh
no,
man, you out there?
Okay, I was just about to make fun of him being over in Russia, man. He came back down. Okay,
yeah, he out there, man. Y'all in my y'all in the spot, man. Y'all used and it used to be secret honeycomb spot. Now I don't know. Now Colombia's getting out there now, so I'm kind of happy I'm in Brazil, to be honest with you. But shout out to Xavier Lancaster for a $20 super chat. Guys, if you haven't, if you want to get an in-depth look into Moscow, Russia, check out, we did an interview last week, and we did we showed different videos of Moscow, Russia. It was really dope. A lot of people liked it, a lot of good comments. So make sure you check that one out, man. It's a really good video. Shout out to Xavier Lancaster, my dude in the building, man.
The guy, the ambassador himself.
Colombia.
You were cutting out.
I said when I first met you, you dated a lighter Colombian, mestizo, right?
You talking about when we went to that bar in the park where you can play your own music?
There you go. My bad, bro.
All right. Yeah, you talking about in the park where you can play your own music?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I well, I'm not gonna get into that. I had to think about where I was communicating about this at. But no, my girl's in Barranquilla.
Time in Barranquilla.
Yeah, Barranquilla. I'll say I don't remember the night you're talking about. We'll just put it that way.
Mm-hmm. So, but tell us a little bit about Barranquilla, though. I think I cut out for
Barranquilla. Okay, now with Barranquilla, I do see guys talk about Barranquilla a lot. I mean, my girl lives out there. She's from another city that got mentioned earlier today, Bucaramanga.
Mm-hmm.
But out on the coast, it's a completely different vibe than the rest of Medellin. I mean, they're way more laid back. Personally, I don't really like Barranquilla. It's kind of boring. I only go out there for her. But, you know, when you're in Barranquilla, you got Cartagena's an hour away, Santa Marta's an hour away by vehicle. There's a lot of regular women in Barranquilla. Unfortunately, there's just not a whole lot to do.
Yeah, we keep cutting out, man. You there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay. Yeah, man. Sorry about that, family. You know, this Wi-Fi is touch and go during the day. That's why I try to do streams kind of at night, but I want to go ahead and knock this one out because we got the app developer coming on at 5 p.m. So I'm gonna play like a quick little clip of fresh. Stop buffering. Here we go.
We'll make it happen. Not only, you know, how to meet women in every imaginable way, I can teach you how to get a harem like David Bond has. I'm more
He belongs to the streets.
Yeah, they're for short term, and she's the only one that I care about enough to keep around long term.
So I want you to respond to that real quick, Dre. What do you think about him saying that you can have multiple women in Colombia?
And I was getting ready to
that know about each other.
Because I'm trying to skate a thin line with how I explain it. Because, like I said, I do got a girl in Barranquilla, so let me figure out a way how to. It's possible. It's very possible, actually. Some females are actually okay with the fact that you have another girl, but that's not exactly the norm.
But let me tell you, though. Let me tell you, bro. That's not the norm like that. Like, them women will go off on you if they find out you got another female around, bro. Trust me.
Exactly.
Not necessarily because
my girl, she ain't going for it.
Yeah, not just because, you know, it's man, bro. That jealousy, that muy celoso, you know, they something else with that, as well as they look at that as more money that out their pocket, basically. You know, like
all that sweetness going out the window.
Yeah, bro. So that's, you know, it can happen. Don't get me wrong, it can happen, depending on the situation. You know, but I would say it's not likely. Like, he can't teach you that. You know what I'm saying? This is what I be talking about with these PUA guys. Like, oh, I got the game so cold. You have 2 women in Colombia. Trust me, bro. You be walking around with 2 women. Just buy my course. And I'm like, bro.
And the way he's explaining it, it's like he's doing that in the same city. Which, I mean, I've seen it, you know, within our circle. You know, guys, they may have a girlfriend, and you know, some of the chicks move like that out here too. You might go out with a chick and she got a full-blown boyfriend back home, and she gonna tell you she got a boyfriend. So it just depends. But the way it's being presented right here, no, that's not how that works down here. Maybe if you live in one city, I'm in Medellin, and maybe your girl live in Cartagena, okay, that's a little bit different.
That's pretty much the how things somewhat are to some guys. You have women in different cities in Colombia, like
you
know what I'm saying?
That's doable. That's very doable. But
Because the flight is like
$30,
$40. So it's easy to get around Colombia.
Yeah.
Because you gotta understand, Colombia is the size of Texas. So the fly within Colombia is really cheap and it's quick too. So if you did have a girl in Barranquilla, you can literally go out there twice a month and you won't, it won't knock you over the head for the price, leaving in Medellin.
No, not at all. Not at all.
Now, have you been to Cali, Colombia?
Yes, I've been to Cali.
What do you think about Cali versus Medellin?
Always Medellin for me. Out of all these cities I go to, whether it's for the little bit of work I do down here or just leisure travel, I'll enjoy those other cities, but I'm always ready to come back to Medellin. I always tell people it's nothing like once you hit that, that tunnel that you're going to be in for 5 days leaving the airport. Once you come out that tunnel and Medellin hits you, coming down that mountain, ain't nothing like it.
Mm-hmm. Shout out to Xavier Lancaster. He said, facts, BMT, Mr. BMT. Colombian women become extremely jealous and will express vengeance that will put fear in you all day long. I don't know what type of game you can learn from him, Mr. Casey Redbeard, I think that's his name, but that's definitely not the norm, man. And they will go through your phone. They'll go through your phone in a heartbeat. I dated a few women out there in Colombia, and you're gonna date, man. You're gonna date until you find the one you can really gel with. Shout out to the Venezuelan women out there; they out there as well. So they have a little bit of a different vibe than Colombian women. They're a little bit more laid back, in my opinion. But for the purpose of this show, man, I just want to put it out there. I'm not knocking this guy's hustle. Him putting guys on Colombia and all that good stuff. He had a lot of good information, but you don't have to bring the game courses to Colombia, bro. It is, you just got to know how to pretty much move, and that can be in a simple conversation, asking the expat that's been down there for a few years. Colombia, in certain cases, we talk about this all the time. It's the only country in the world where you can get robbed, drugged, almost killed, and want to come back. So,
exactly. At least that's what I hear. So knock on wood, that hadn't happened to me yet. But
that haven't happened to really nobody within our circle because the way we move. You know what I'm saying?
No. We're down here a long time, but it's like you got guys that pull up down here. Like I said, I still have yet to figure out how you get drugged and robbed within the first hour or two of being in the country.
And it happens, man. It happens.
Like how does this? I know
it happens, bro.
My mind.
Bro, I've gotten calls from guys that would be in Brazil all the time. It might have been their first time in Colombia, and the next day they say, "Hey, man, I think I got drugged last night, bro." I'm like, how you get drugged last night? Man, I had like 3 women over. I said, well, bro, I was like,
that's your problem, right?
That was your problem right there. You had 3 women over. Where did you meet these women? It's either going to be Tinder or the park. And I'm like, well, that's not the move, bro. I said, bro, why you should have called me or something, or call somebody to just be over there with you.
Then it gets worse. It gets worse because they'll meet them in the park and they'll pick the chicks that can't even get in the clubs. They pick the chicks that's just standing around all night. They stand around because they can't get in. They're not allowed in. They don't just let these females into these clubs. Certain ones can't get in.
I remember one time I was in I was staying in like a little hotel, right? It was in Poblado, and it's like a little party hotel. And it was a homeless guy on the street, and I noticed he said something in Spanish, but he spoke a little English too. And it was some guys from the States, but they were like Puerto Rican or something, I think. And they walked in with some girls. I don't know where they got the girls from, but the guy said something to him. He warned them, and they just kept, they just took the girls up. And he was like, "Yo, them girls are very bad, man. Those girls, you need to tell your friends not to, to be careful with them girls." And I'm like, I don't really know them. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know them guys. I don't even know what room they in. And truth be told, some for guys coming in, they don't know. This is why it's so important to meet with guys that's already been down there for a while. Like, I remember one time it was me. I don't know if it was you was out there, but I know Jay was Yo, Dre, you there?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I know I'm cutting out, family. I apologize, man. You know, I super apologize for that. That's my Brazilian Wi-Fi that's going on. You know,
That's because these folks don't update these routers. I mean, it's like you go to some of these places and, they would have bought that router probably 10, 15 years ago. You're paying for high speed internet, but your router can't put that internet speed out there.
Mm-hmm. Shout out to Andre and Andrea Love Crossing Brothers. I just saw you in the chat, bro. He says that's the Medellin called anything, drug and dudes. Yeah, since the Wi-Fi keeps jumping in and out, man. But yeah, to make a long story short, the Fresh and Fit podcast, in just a full response, I'm gonna give my take on it, and Dre, you can give your take on it from the clips that you saw. Everything is kind of centered around pushing guys into courses and classes. And I remember I was talking about traveling Colombia, Brazil, and now it's all came full circle. You know what I'm saying? Now even the PUA coaches are going to Colombia, making videos, making women Fit and Fearless, who's down there living in Colombia. He's supposed to be somewhat of a PUA coach, Mac Daddy coach, right? So why are you in Colombia? Why are you not in America? You know, and you got these other PUA coaches coming down to Colombia, and they're really shooting themselves in the foot. Now, I will messing it up for themselves and their brand, because once guys get down to Colombia, they're going to recognize, like, oh, I don't need none of this stuff. What are you talking about? Game courses? I just got to talk to one of the guys. Breaking up again. Apologies, family. We're going to go ahead and end the show soon. But you can approach women. It's just where you at, right? If it's me and my boy Dre and a couple other cats, and we see a group of women down at La Setenta, in La Reles, you can kind of approach. I've had memorable nights. You can ask Citizen Lou of us being on La Setenta. It's just all about where you're going. Poblado, maybe not so much unless it's two of you and two of them. But you can have somewhat of a night game approach to the women. Let me catch the super chat, and I'm gonna get your closing thoughts, Dre the Kid. Shout out to East Coast Kev in the building. Is that my boy Kev? Oh, what up, Kev? He said, still waiting on the receipts of these PUA coaches. They're never gonna come, bro. They're never gonna come.
No, I definitely don't particularly agree with most of that. But I mean, I understand they're running a business, or they're trying to sell that information to the guys that may be in desperate or feel like they're in desperate situations. But you come down here with that kind of nonsense. I mean, for one, it's not needed, and two, you're skipping the biggest thing that you need coming to Colombia is your safety. And they're constantly, they're focusing on the females. The guys come down here, and the only thing that's on their mind is the females. Now you get down here, you're gonna see the bad chicks everywhere. They are everywhere, literally everywhere. But you can't lose sense of your safety, and that's the biggest thing that these guys run into down here. And you spend all this money on a course where somebody's supposed to teach you how to be yourself, basically, and
say that one more time, bro. Say that one more time for the family.
I mean, essentially, that's about what it is. You just need to be able to travel to, whether it's Latin America. I wouldn't advise it in the Middle East, but Eastern Europe and Asia. Just be yourself. All you got to do is just show up, be yourself. I mean, there's so many socially awkward guys that I've ran into down here anyway, but they'll still have a beautiful chick on their arm, just as weird as they are. My big thing is safety. It is safe here. I haven't personally had any issues, but at the same time, if you do not move a certain way, you will certainly run into a problem. You stay down here long enough, guaranteed.
Yeah, man. Most definitely. I remember my little situation in El Centro when I had to go out there and rescue a dude from being extorted. He didn't even know he was getting extorted.
Man.
He thought he was just like, he was like, yeah, man, it's I got to pay for security out here, man. I'm like, bro, you don't got to pay for security nowhere in Colombia. You know what I'm saying? Like, they extorting you, bro. I can see if it was an arrangement you made beforehand, but these guys just ran up on you and started basically robbing you nicely. You know?
Yeah, now there's some areas that, I mean, just from being in the States, you know what the hood look like. So some areas you're going to know to not go there. You just don't go there. You make a wrong turn in any El Centro, which is downtown, or basically saying downtown in Spanish. Any El Centro in Colombia, in one of these bigger cities, you make a wrong turn on the wrong street, you're going to find yourself in a world of hurt.
Yeah, man. Just a quick story time before we go. I was in El Centro. I went down there. Basically, I'm like, bro, let me come out there, you know, and grab you, because it was like a second or third day out there, and the dude was, you know, he didn't really know what was going on, man. He was really he was so green, you know. He didn't really grow up in a tough neighborhood, so he was just out there just exploring, right? And I'm like, bro, you shouldn't be down this time of night. You know, you got two guys with you. They just pretty much.
Oh, he was down there at night?
He was down there at night. So I get down there, bro. I get down there, and it's just chaos going on. Everything is going on in El Centro at night. And so I find him. I'm like, yo, bro, you know, we walking. He's like, yeah, these dudes are cool, man, you know. And they're like, yeah, what up? And I'm like, yeah, what up, bro? Hey, we don't need to, you know, we need to break off from these cats, bro. We're going to go ahead and head back to El Poblado or whatnot. So we start cutting back. Now, we left these dudes, right? We cutting back, you know, to try to find a taxi or something. Some chick randomly blurts out, I think she brought out camera or video. It was something like that. Now, keep in mind, I had my phone on my hand, but I wasn't recording nothing. You know what I'm saying? I don't think my man was recording nothing behind me. If he did, I didn't see it. You know what I'm saying? Because he was behind me. Man, when I tell you about 10, 12 Venezuelans just you know, came up, surrounding us and everything. So I vamp into a little. I try to be slick and I try to vamp because I see it coming. You know what I'm saying? I vamp up in a little cafe real quick. Try to, you know, get in the cafe, order some food, like, play it off. Man, they came up in the cafe, no problem. But thank God it was a black Colombian there, bro. Now, keep in mind, I don't know that much Spanish at this point in time. Everybody's speaking Spanish. They going like this to me, like, you know, video. They doing like this. And I'm like, I ain't giving you no money, homeboy. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Now, this is the funny part. I'm sitting there, and I'm like, you know, I look around. My man is gone, dog. I don't know where he at. I'm just like, okay, what you know, where my dude at? Because I'm thinking in my head, I can knock out this little short motherfucker. I'm gonna knock this dude out. You know, I might get two of these little cats, but I'm gonna get messed up if it came to that. You know, I ain't throwing no punches. But I looked around, my man was gone, bro. I was like, damn. You know, so I'm out here, 10, 12 Venezuelans around me. Luckily, it was a black Colombian, bro, that came across. He was working there. He came around the counter. And he was just like, no, go. You know, no. He was like, just telling them like, yo, bro, we ain't having that. That's why I went in the cafe. You know, he might did that just out of genuine, you know, love for a brother, or he didn't want him to tear up the cafe. And, you know, I ain't going for the shakedown either. I'm like, bro, I ain't getting giving no money. You know what I'm saying? So we just going to be at a standstill.
Well, that is a beautiful thing about most of the culture here. The people in general, they're not going to just sit back and watch something bad happen. If they can do something, a lot of them are going to jump in.
A lot of them going to jump in, bro.
Yeah, to correct the situation. I mean, so that's the majority of the people. You still got them bad apples out there, and they real bad apples. But you know, it's an interesting balance.
Yeah, most definitely. So they started to, you know, to wander off and everything. It's still a few of them. They still kind of like, you know. And I'm like, damn, these dudes really want to do something out of nothing. And here come my man, you know. I'm like, bro, where you went? He's like, oh man, I had to get behind him. I was gonna get behind him just in case, you know, it was gonna pop off. I'm sitting here like, I was like, man, I didn't see you nowhere, bro. I looked around for you, you know, I didn't see you nowhere, bro. You know? So he was like, "Oh no, I was right there." I was like, "Man, I was right there, bro. You didn't see me? You didn't see me?" I'm like, "No, bro, I did not see you, bro." So, just a quick note: I've heard that if things kind of pop off in El Centro, walking to the middle of the street where all the cars at, and that's what I did. I just walked in the middle of the street. I was like, "Man, come on." He's like, "Man, you sure, man? Everything good, man. Everything they say, everything good, bro." I'm like, "Bro, everything is not good. They're gonna get us as soon as they can." And there's no police nowhere. There's no police nowhere at this time of night.
Yeah, not in El Centro at night.
Yeah, we are on our own. They could just, what I'm saying, and just robbed us, because I think that's what they was trying to do. So he didn't understand. I'm like, bro, no, this is dangerous out here, and he still didn't understand it. But we ended up getting up out of there, man, and everything was cool. That was the only situation I was in Colombia. Everything else was cool. And keep in mind, I didn't feel a certain way. You know what I'm saying? I knew that we had crossed the boundary. We shouldn't have been there, first of all. So I wasn't tripping on them.
Yeah, Centro at night. Yeah, that's no good.
Andre said my boy was hiding. Yeah, he was hiding, man. Yeah, he was hiding. He was, and I never bring that little day up. And me and him are still cool, man. I don't never bring that up because, believe it or not, that's not the first time that's happened to me. That's happened to me before. Back in college, guys start a fight and they run off, and I'm sitting there fighting the biggest dude all of a sudden. I'm like, man, how this happened? I'm trying to break up the fight. Now I'm fighting, getting arrested. But anyways, shout out to On Trackman with the $5 super chat. He says, good guys just want a good woman, and game is not needed to get a good woman. Nah, man. Let me tell you something, family. You're not going to outgame a woman, period, because they have what you want at the end of the day. And a lot of these women have been getting hollered at since they was young, bro. So you're not going to be able to game a woman. But the cool thing about Colombia and most places overseas outside the West, you don't have to try to game a woman. You just got to be yourself.
Yeah, that's it.
They're more impressed with your career and your ability to speak Spanish, and how good of a man are you? How well can you take care of them? And you're gonna take care of each other, bro. They don't really date out there. It's just like, yo, you single, I'm single. Let's have a relationship for a while, see how it work out. It's just that simple. I mean, you can attest to that. You got a relationship fairly quickly. When you got there,
I've been with old girl for a year now.
Shout out to Shelton Henderson with a $5 super chat. I'm gonna give a special shout out to him. Shout out to Dudno Music. He says just hopped on fake and fraud, went to Colombia. You know what? Guess what? They are going to Colombia. I don't know if you caught that in the broadcast, but they're going to do a live out there in Colombia, man. So Colombia's getting a lot of light, Drake. Colombia getting a lot of attention right now, bro.
Hey, man, it's all fun and games until you wake up the next morning and don't remember what happened.
But for them to skip over the safety issues just to sell a course, bro, I'm like, yo, that's a big part of going to Colombia. You have to give them the safety rundown real quick, dude.
You're gonna see yourself on that security camera the next morning, helping move all your stuff out the apartment, or you see yourself on the ATM getting out all the cash out your account because they didn't scope you. And
if you think you're gonna get your stuff back, or you think they're gonna get women gonna get prosecuted, you in for a rude awakening, bro. You in for a rude awakening. It's not happening, bro. Their main concern is to make sure you don't die, because it's a chance that you might die from being drugged, because a lot of people have died, unfortunately. So they just want to get it out the system. They're gonna give you an IV. Like one guy said, he woke up with an IV in his arm, and the police standing over him. So it can get real, man. It definitely can get real out there. All right.
Yeah, I mean, you meeting up with these chicks from the park or Tinder, don't know nothing about, bringing them back to your spot where all your stuff is. Just because they show their ID at security at the front desk, you didn't even look at that ID. You don't even know what a real ID looks like. So how you know that's not a fake ID? Especially if it's a Venezuelan card.
The Three Kings said they didn't skip over safety. He talked about it. No, he's taught that what he said about safety was that it's just petty crimes. You got to worry about a little light robbery because of the pandemic. But it's not like on the cartel. The cartel is off in the cut now. It's not like the Pablo Escobar days. And in that case, he is right. He is right that it's not as bad as it was when the cartels were
as long as you stay in the
government
cities.
And stuff. Right. Yeah, exactly. As long as you stay in the cities. But he didn't mention anything about the drugging, which is unfortunately a major concern going out there in especially Medellin right now, bro. It's the drugging. Like every day there is another story about somebody either dying from being drugged or being robbed for being drugged. And from what I heard, when you get drugged, man, you're never the same, man. It's a very powerful drug. On top of the drug grows on the trees out there. Like I forgot the name of the plant. I don't even want to mention the name of the plant. But in most cases, you can walk around the street and find that plant and get the little stuff out of the plant. So it's everywhere.
Yeah, I think I'm looking at the plant off the balcony right now.
Exactly. It's
Across the way.
Like a white lily or something like that.
Right.
Andre said these dudes are setting guys up. Yeah, man, because they worried about selling courses, bro. I don't know how they came up because remember, before this episode, this podcast, they were talking against Colombia. They were saying that guys only go down there for prostitutes. That was fresh exact words. Now that they have a course to sell, they're gonna try to do a double around. Oh man, I'm borging out again. Shout out to No Music with the $5 super chat. Just they realize their name has a reputation, they might get caught in some ish. I guarantee the women know who they are already. The power of the internet. Man, I'm gonna tell you, man, when I saw the Fit and Fearless guy, when he was in, they had the camera crew and he was going to women in the park or, around, trying to interview them about how good he looked. I just was like, man, come on, bro. This is why we can't have nothing. Like this is why we just mess up every. Look, like come on, fam. Like one woman was just like, yo, I'd rather have a man that can build a fence than all that. Your character, which is very important, than let's say, what you have on at the time. And pretty much the locals don't really wear jewelry because it's dangerous out there to wear jewelry. They'll rob you over jewelry.
They don't even do it.
Yeah.
And that's one thing that a lot of the men need to understand that are starting to travel international is whether it's Latin America, you're coming down here for the females or whatever. Any country you go to, you need to understand the culture. You need to understand the laws. You need to understand what's acceptable, what's not acceptable. You can't just show up and just kind of be American. You can't do that. You're going to run into issues. You need to understand what's going
on. Most definitely, man. That was the purpose of creating the Facebook. And the guy on the show, he did say some truths about, in America, just to be a masculine heterosexual male, you're going to be demonized for boning beautiful, young women. And that's definitely true in the Matrix. I mean, you got stars like Trey Songz getting lawsuits against him now. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, man.
Right.
Trey Songz raping people. Are you serious? Like, women can really just throw charges on you in America now.
Yeah, that's what I'm hearing. Because look, I ain't up there, so I'm not worried about it no more.
What they doing now in America is if you got a bag, if you got some money, and they can kind of meet other girls that you've been with, they'll put a case on you. They put a case on T.I., they put a case on Trey Songz, they can put a case on you. And all it is 5 or 6 girls saying, oh, you had sex with him too? Okay, we're gonna say he raped us. We're gonna Me Too him, see if we can get a bag. We can settle out of court for like $500,000 or something. And that's what's going on right now, and rape is a very You still there? You still there, Dre?
Yeah.
Okay. Shout out to Andre and Andrea Loving Crossing Borders again. He said, this is why I love guys. Hold on, I want to catch this. How is Fresh? Hold on, let me catch this. How is Fresh going to get a woman in Colombia and that fool ain't even vaccinated?
Yeah, good point there. You're
yeah.
not getting in this country.
yeah, they're taking that vaccination serious, man. They went through a lot last year with that pandemic, bro. I was down there and they shut us down. We can't even leave our house or our apartment like that. We can only go to the store on certain days.
Yep.
That is, one of my dudes came out there. The day he came, they locked the country down. He was there for a month, right? He was there for like a month and a half. When he left, they opened the country back up. He was so.
When they want to, they will lock this place down, and/or the police will show up in force. There's way more. It's odd because you hear about the dangers of Colombia, but there's way more police. There's probably 6 to 7 times more police down here than in the States.
That's interesting, man, because it's a lot of police in Brazil too. Like they be like 6, 7, sometimes 10 deep on a block. And
They just post it. In large numbers, and just, I mean, you'll see them riding around. It's like most places, if you're out in the public, you can't go more than 5 minutes without seeing a police officer somewhere.
Just like in the barrios there in the favelas here, you got the big guys that kind of run them. They don't allow any crime in that area, so that's pushing out the petty crime to the tourist areas. You know what I'm saying? Like Copacabana Beach and Poblado and stuff like that over there in Colombia. So
because they got to get permission to go down there and do that nonsense. I mean, you can't just be down here free picking on foreigners. That's bad business.
Most definitely, like you said earlier, that if some of these business owners or just Colombians in general see that, they'll be like, no, they'll try to stop it.
They had people trying to jump on those dudes back. I think it was early November when they had that robbery at that gold place over in Poblado. I think that video circled around in the group a while, where the guys was out there with the rifles and stuff. Even stuff like that. It's like you just need to come down here and have your head on your shoulders, have it screwed on tight, and pay attention to what you're doing, because you really cannot just pull up in Colombia and think it's all fun and games.
Most
you can have great fun, but at the same time, it's some things that you can do that will open yourself up to some horrible possibilities in this country, or you'll mix with the wrong elements, and those elements are definitely about that life down here.
Man, I tell guys this all the time, man. I've just had so many stories. It's just ridiculous, bro. Shout out to the great pretender with the $5 super chat. Let's speak about that, Dre. Have you noticed that?
Yeah, I've been asked mainly for Colombia, but because of what I used to do previously, I mean, I've been all over the globe, so it's not as odd for them, or at least for my experience. And knowing that I came down here, they assume I'm affiliated with the government in some sort of way down here anyway. So most of the time, I don't run into any issues. But I did have one female specifically ask, why am I in Colombia? And I knew that's where she was going with that question. But, I just steered it off in a totally different direction.
Yeah, I remember, man, when I was on a date with a little model / actress, beautiful girl. And she asked me, but she mentioned this. I never bring it up. I never bring up my travels. First of all, I don't date in the Matrix, of course, but that happened just to be a situation where me and her just went out after the set, after we did the shoot. We worked on a little independent film, and we just ate after the set, basically. So she told me about her travels, and I knew it was coming, Dre. I was like, man, please don't ask. And she was like, yeah, I've been here, I've been there. And she's like, I love traveling the world. I love it so much. She's like, yeah, Aaron, have you been outside the country? Have you got a passport? And I was like, should I lie? Should I say yay? And I told her the countries I've been to, and everything was good. So I said Brazil. When I mentioned Brazil, she couldn't get off the subject, bro. And she would bring it back up once we left that subject. So it's definitely a truth to that. And you know what? I can see how our relationship changed a little bit once she realized that, oh, this guy, he spends time overseas. He's just not going these spots and coming back. He spends time.
That's a big difference.
That's a big difference.
Big difference. Yeah, big difference.
So, you know, and it's funny, man. I invited her. I was like, yeah, come down to Colombia. And she's like, oh, you know, I don't know. You probably got 10 women out there. I'm like, you know, no.
Now that you mention it, my aunt told me before I left, she was like, and don't you get involved with those women down there. I know they won't. They want the men from up here. I was like, all right, auntie.
Yeah, man. Yeah, most definitely. Well, Dre, once again, man, good show. I appreciate you coming on. Guys, we got 233 in the room. I'm going to go ahead and end the show. But first, I'm going to play the trailer for the mobile app. Once again, tune in today at 5 p.m. Eastern. I'm going to bring on the software engineer of the mobile app, and we're going to launch the crowdfunding campaign live today. We're raising $25,000 for the mobile app, and we're going to explain all the logistics and all the numbers and all that stuff this evening at 5 p.m. So here's the trailer. Once again, appreciate you coming on, Dre. What's going on, family? I appreciate you stopping by the page. If you are here, you are considering donating to the Black Men Travels, the BMT social networking app, the private social networking app, I shall add. That would be very beneficial to all of us. All right. You know, many times we don't have a lot of independence on some of these social networks. Well, for travelers, this is the social network for you. Okay. Just imagine being in a foreign country, hitting the geotab button, and to be able to see other BMT members in your vicinity. That's going to change the outlook of your vacation, seeing how you can meet other group members. Also, you have private messaging alongside the app as well. You will be able to communicate without any outside interference. All right, guys, you can post pretty much what you want to post, and that's a big benefit as well. This app right here is a fully independent app. Okay, guys, it's probably going to be the only fully independent app on your phone. So it's going to be a lot of benefits that come along down the line as we continue to develop the app. Right now, this is the crowdfunding for the first phase. So you're basically going to be paying upfront to use the app. There is a paywall to keep some of the riffraff out, but it's going to be very beneficial to So guys, make sure you donate to the app. This is our own independent platform. Let's do this for us. Let's do this for the culture. Let's do it for empowerment.
Important, man. We are our own culture. You know, we understand us. And it's important that we have something that we own. Yeah. You know what it is? It's your man, Fidel, man. Hey, listen, it's important, fellas, that we make these moves, we make this happen, and we cannot do it without you. We need your support. Countless companies have people come together. In any country, go turn on the geotag and see which one of your brothers are around in that country. That alone lets you never feel alone when you go somewhere. You know you got people there that connect. You guys got save you money. Thirdly, when we're in these different countries, you know, unfortunately, like I said, this past week, we've seen brothers that have died overseas. It can happen. And it's been tough because they cannot find an extra kin to this guy because he's not really connected to anything, you know. So in the app with our members, we're all connected. We'll have emergency contacts, all that information you can have up in your profile. So in the event something happens to you, you got brothers there that can help you and they can reach out to your family, man. So these type of things are beneficial. Also, into some little troubles. Now, if you go out there and you're trying to move bricks and stuff, trying to go out there and be Pablo, we can't help you much with that. But if you have some issues, we could jump in and put our legal. I got attorneys here. I got businesses here. I got discounts. I got connections automatically just by being united with this BMT. But we need your help. Apps do cost a lot of money, and we want to build this. This is something we can all build on and unite together. We got to come together at home, man.